Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and it's a very exciting day today because this showed up today. This is the proof copy of Sergeant Arson by myself, bound by the company Book Printing UK, and this is the final edition of the text. This is the proper edition of it. This is the edition that I, let's say, had initially intended to put into print. However, the first edition of it is an inferior edition of this, and I'm just looking through it now, and I'm not 100% certain I'm happy with this entirely. For instance, if you can see the spine has turned out a little worse than the spine did on the edition that I originally got printed with. I can't remember the company's name now, but they produced. I'll quickly grab a copy actually. Go over to my bookcase where I've got some copies of Sergeant Arson. This is the first edition. So you can see the Book Printing UK people, they've got the spine slightly wrong, and it's more supposed to be like that. And the paperweight on this isn't exactly what I'd like either. I'd like slightly thicker paper like you have in this one. So yeah, a few little gripes with it. Then again, do I really want the paper to be all that thick? I don't know. Does it make for a better reading experience? It might do actually. Oh god, this is the trials and tribulations of self-publishing. It really is an utter nightmare trying to publish your own work. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think. I mean, when I got these delivered, I was so excited because it looked almost perfect when it got delivered, but there were mistakes that I'd made with it, like the blurb on the back not being correct. And like on this one, yeah, the blurb on the back and everything's correct, but I don't know about it, actually. It feels a bit more flimsy, less solid than this one. So those Book Printing, sorry, and who was the company that did this one? Print to Demand UK of Bedfordshire. They did a nice job on the first edition, all things considered, but there's a weirdly high incidence of typos in it, which I don't remember all of them being in there when I meticulously went over the final edit of it. And in this there should be no typos. I'm going to read through it all later on, but I mean, I had to go like that when I read it more, I think, and each and every fucking page. Then again, that is what I asked for in terms of paperweight, so and I'm not so taken with the writing in it either. If you can see, there's sort of like patches of text that look like they've been emboldened or made bolder. And it generally feels like a cheaper, less professional version of this, and this is very much lighter than this one also. I don't know. I'm not happy about this. I started off saying I was excited about it, but I'm not. Is self-publishing the way to go? I really don't know. Maybe I'll just try and get it ordinarily published, or properly published. Then I've got to get an agent, and then get a publisher interested in it. Oh, God. Yeah. Self-publishing, vanity publishing, very possibly. And the spine's not right with this one as well, because it's blurry. It's a little bit blurry there on the spine. And it looks fucking self-published. Which ideally it shouldn't, it should look properly published. But then obviously to properly publish something I've got to get a proper publisher, or use the printers that proper publishers use. Which I did think of doing, but they're more expensive. unless you're buying like 10,000 copies. So, I mean, I did the right thing in terms of self-publishing. I didn't use, true vanity publishers and all those those people out there who produce genuinely terrible books, and these sort of fly-by-night publishing businesses that entice authors in and produce crap books. Maybe Ex Libris would have been the way to go. The people who published Sergio Della Pava. There's good ones out there like that who do self-publishing, but I don't know. It's not too bad, it really isn't. It's a little bit flimsy and a bit floppy. You can see like that comes apart and that's a bit thin. I'm just going to quickly grab like an edition of something. What does it compare to? We've got this Aleister Crowley book. No, that's higher paperweight. That Old Man with Sea, that's higher paperweight. Diving Band Butterfly, higher paperweight again. The paperweight is very thin on this book. No, I'm not happy with it. No. I'm going to send an email to this lady saying that I said apart from the company logo being larger as well, other than that everything's okay with it. No, it isn't really. Sorry. I'm going to have to amend that. Hi Caroline. Sorry to go back on what I just said. I'll do that later. Because it seems like everything could come right with self-publishing, and people do it. They do it successfully. So how the hell do I do it successfully? That's the big issue here. We've got 100 copies of these things showing up. Of this thing showing up. Is it not so bad though? Is it kind of sleek and svelte? How much damage is this? Look at that. I don't know if that's a good thing to see in a book. I will have books on there. I have had books before with a comparable paperweight to this, but in terms of GSM, I don't know, the writing in it makes it harder to read. It's hard. It's hard enough to fucking read anyway, for various reasons. Maybe these editions are actually not so bad now, in my opinion. I shouldn't have done that, I haven't sold this yet. I should just have my proof copy, or mine. It's a few minutes before 8 in the morning and Frank Arson's still asleep, snoring like the fat pig that he is. Soon he'll be awake. That's the first paragraph, I'm quite pleased with it. Yeah. Don't do it, or do it. Do self-publish. Do self-publish. It gets your book in print. It makes it look like a book. You can give it to your family and friends. It's not a bad thing to do, really. But then again, it's sort of like giving up on the whole big dream of being a writer, isn't it? It's also not necessarily like that because people do make a lot of money doing it. And they're working incredibly hard as publishers and agents on their own behalf and publicists and everything else, and marketing and advertising and sales, doing it all themselves online, spending probably a lot of money to be able to do that. Money that I certainly don't have. And yeah, like modest efforts like this, I think really it's not a bad effort, I don't think, for self-publishing. It could be a lot worse. Yeah, I wish I were happy with this, that's all. I really do. I really wish this had turned out. Look at that. Really well. That's I wish it had turned out really well. These also more expensive than these. I should have stuck with the original company. So sorry, Bob Cleverly of Book Printing UK. Even though your editions aren't perfect, frankly. Print to Demand UK. Sorry, mate. You're better than Book Printing UK. That's the thing. Print to Demand UK produces superior self-published copies of work to Book Printing UK for less money. Less money. If you ever want to get your book self-published, which I'm not sure I recommend, frankly. Oh. No, I think that this isn't a success yet. I think this is yet another failure on my long list of failures. And I think that more needs to be done, and I think I need to get it published properly. And kiss Eschaton Publishing goodbye. Kiss by the dream of being a publisher as well, as a writer. Or do I do that? I don't know. As another first edition. I was going to send that to someone. I've got a mate who's an agent and he wouldn't even read it. A little turd. A little suit wearing scumbag in the city. Fucking hate people sometimes. Like they wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. It's awful. But yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye bye. I love you lots. See you soon.